We know we're going to get people in here upset, angry, frustrated, mad, bitter, all that stuff at the end of the day. But hey, it has to be done, okay? Um, we do the hot mic. Well, we're not doing a hot mic today. We just leaving the mic open. So basically, first things first, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is Black Series Edition LLC with Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We've been doing not gunmetal, but we've been doing black technology for quite some time. I can go into my archives. I can pull up videos under digital 4K crystal onyx, which is a black paint that we developed many years ago, about 8 years back, with beta testers to match with it. And you know, as what I'm seeing today is I'm seeing a lot of products. Well, not a lot of products. I have seen a few products. We did eye paint screens. They didn't come up exactly black. They came up kind of a really dark gray. And I've seen some other products claiming to pull 100% contrast levels. But again, you know, if you can see 100% contrast, you should be able to do a few of these demonstrations to show that your product is pulling 100% contrast. One of these demonstrations we like to do is called black versus black, which is very important because if you have a black screen, it shows at the end of the day that your screen is not matching another black paint or black fabric or something like that. Somebody can't do the same thing with another piece of material as they can do with your screen. So that's very important to show off. But also too, if you have a screen that you're claiming to be a black screen, and technically it's gray, because once you put a black surface, black fabric, whatever it may be, against a gray surface, it is automatically going to show its true colors. If you're claiming it to be black and that screen actually is gray, if you put 100% black against it, it's going to turn gray, which we saw in the demonstration with Danny's screen paint product. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab something. I'm going to grab from our screen over here. We specialize, like I said, in black technology. And I do this as a customer awareness to teach customers what to look for. Black star field demonstration. Now, as I said before, if your screen is true black, you're going to see true black. I want to pull up something real quick. So right here in this demonstration, this screen is not black at all. The person just claiming that they can pull a high contrast level. So you see where it says perfect black, perfect color. This is OLED, right? This is what OLED displays. That means that this image come up as black as the OLED, where it doesn't. Because usually people do these demonstrations of being very, very dark environments, bragging about contrast levels that they can't see at all, period. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So if you come over here, just search in over here, this is a 38 Black Widow versus a TV in contrast levels in a fully lit environment. Do you see what it reads on the screen? It says perfect color, perfect black created by perfect color. See the TV? Saying the exact same thing. That means that the gray screen paint would never be to read, but the TV could pick up because the TV picks up a 100% infinity black level where our technology can read this same thing. And again, if the screen came out too dark, well, you wouldn't be to see that white writing in there, the same you can see on the TV, right next to a window. So this is one of the things you have to be careful about. When you're buying screen paint products from people, you have to make sure that they claim have these contrast levels, that you're actually getting real contrast levels, that they don't have to be stuck in a really dark environment too close to the screen to try to fool you that you're seeing a contrast level when you're really not getting it. So what happens when the customer turns on the lights? See, people who make those products, question to you. What happens if you do a demonstration in a dark environment claiming that you're picking up contrast? What happens to the customer if he or she decides to turn on their lights in their living room? Is the screen going to maintain the same contrast level you're seeing here, or is it going to wash out? It's going to wash out. So you know what that means? The customer is going to be upset because they're going to think that, hey, look, you deceived me at the end of the day because you did this demonstration. You claimed you had contrast levels, but lights on, it didn't work. Contrast and black levels are going to pull regardless if the lights are on or off. It's contrast. You're going to see it whether it's going to come on or lights are on or off. So you see how much of a black level you're missing? Mind you, the projector being used in the demonstration over here has a 2 million to 1 contrast, which means you got nothing out of the projector. Absolutely nothing. Show me where 2 million to 1 is being shown on the screen. It's not even there. Doesn't even exist. So that means all the money that you cough up for an expensive projector, because there's a whopping 2 million to 1, will you see any of this? You won't see any of it at all, period. As a matter of fact, do you see the framer on the screen? You see how black it is? It's the same color as my screen in the next video. Let's go over to here and hit our star field. Now, for a minute. Quite big stuff over here. So, we come over here. This is a technology we call the FLE. This is called a Alpha Cinemax. You see the color of my speakers. You see the color of the screen. I block that up. See? Same color. So in order for you to have an infinity contrast level, your screen has to read a 100% black level. Gray screens don't have that capability. White screens don't have it either. Even if you go up and you spend $3,300, $4,000, $5,000, even $20,000, you cannot achieve a contrast level. It is virtually impossible. Because the projector may have the capability, the problem is the screen doesn't. So if the screen doesn't have it, guess what? The projector doesn't have it either. Projector will only work as good as the screen is being displayed on. That's how it works. Spend the money, go there and get all the beautiful colors and everything you need for your projector. You're going to hit your screen with it. You're going to find that the screen is going to look awful because the projector is doing its job. There's nothing wrong with the projector. Your screen's having the issue. All right. So as we saw in Danny's video, we saw a screen claiming to be black. Problem you have here is that screen, when you lay black against it, it would show us true colors. That's why every time we get we got from iPaint screens, they had the screen claiming to be black. I looked at it, looked black to me when I got it. I laid it against the screen, it came up gray. Because if your screen's black, it's going to come up black. Can't get around that. All right, so let's see if we can dig that one up. Let me see. We have to put it under customer review because he doesn't have it on his page on the customers. We should have it on there. Let me see if we can find it on there first. Let's see. Now we got the magic paint popped up. That's one of the things that just popped up was the magic paint. Now we're going to get this product. Actually, we're going to get that product and we're going to get the Cinemax. We're going to get both of them. Oh, man, this is crazy. I literally went through all of this, and all these PSP things are basically involving copyright similarity. It's going to cause a lawsuit. Definitely going to be a lawsuit. He has customers here. Now, see right here in the video where he has the screen in the background? Your screen's gray. That's a gray screen. And I'm going to show you why it's gray. Because when you do darker screens, like when I saw the daylight screen, and I'm staring at that screen, I'm thinking that screen at the end of the day is basically, it's a black screen. Until we got it over here and laid against the screen, found it was actually gray.
Crystal 2.0, Black Widow 38.
There you go. So this shows that his screen is actually gray, not black. See? Because that's black. That's gray. That's gray. So if you're claiming for this screen to be black, it's not, because it should be matching this one over here. As I told you before, all black surfaces can pull a contrast level regardless. It doesn't make a difference. They can pull it. The only difference is the white level. Where did I just put that surface? I just had it over here. There we go. Now, this right here is black paint that I have. Right here, it's black paint. And I'm going to test your stuff. Now, since what I've seen in your demonstration, your screen does not pull a contrast level. It pulls gray. So I'm going to test your product when we get it down here. against 8 different versions of black paint, black fabric, black film, black micro mesh, everything that our screens had to go through, you will go through the exact same black on black test. I will even do a pour out side by side. I want everything to be tested correctly and by the book, because when we take it to court for fraud, I want to make sure I can back up all claims. So we can show that your company is basically committing fraud against the consumer and you're lying. Because what I'm seeing right there, that's black, that's gray. It's kind of fishy. Now, when you tap all surfaces, like I said, all black surfaces, and I said this before, they all pull black because they're black. They're going to all pull black. You can even have different shades. Like, see right here, my cell phone, my screen, right? See right here? PlayStation controller, see right here? See? They're all black. Every last one of these objects I'm pulling up can see contrast because they're 100% black. Even if they're a different shade, they still read 100% black because they are physically black screens. You can go to Home Depot and Lowe's and you go to them, you say, hey, can I get a container of black paint? They're gonna say what kind you want because it comes in different shades, but they're still all black. Your screen, on the other hand, is gray. Because if you take all those different paints and you put them together, they still come up dark enough to pull an image like this. Yours came up like this. And if you're able to lay this, if your screen is basically black, if you lay this across it in the star field, it should have blended in. Now, you must think at the end of the day, no, you're wrong. Okay, let's entertain that. In the middle of my screen, there's black paint sitting there. Can't see it yet, right? Let's walk over to it. It's right here. Can't see it because it's black, because it all blends into the screen. But it's there. Now, if I do a demonstration with a company, say, how do I know your screen's not gray? We take black paint, we throw it against the screen, we throw a starfield demonstration up, it's going to match the screen with no problem. If I put on a white level, our screen pulls a high white level, that turns dirty. That shows the difference between our technology and versus another black surface. That's why we have something called black versus black. It also proves, number one, that our screen doesn't pull, it pulls a higher white level, but also proves that our technology is 100% black. So you can't say that your product is black if you set a black surface next to it and it comes up gray. Now, if this screen was a dark gray, right, and I take that black paint and stick it against it, what's going to happen? That means my screen's going to come up gray, and that means the black surface is going to come up black. Very simple. "4K snow screensavers." Now you see it now? Now you see how my technology pulls a higher white level, even though it's the same color black as the black paint? Because there's something different about our technology. Our technology can pull an insane white level, which gives the ability to pull beautiful colors, beautiful white levels, and a 100% infinity contrast level. This is something you can't back up. But we can. So your screen came out gray. Ta-da! Yeah. There you go. That's the kind of demonstrations that you have to do to back your products up. You have to do them. I left a hot mic so you know. So that's the kind of test demonstrations you have to do. You have to back that up. Now, gentlemen, if you want to sit there and say at the end of the day that that's an all lie, I'll challenge you in a courtroom. How about that? Yes or no? I'll challenge you in a courtroom. Not here on YouTube. No fake camera nonsense, in a courtroom with lawsuits involved. How much faith do you have in your product to go against me in court on that theory right now? You mind, it's a fraud charge. So you're looking at 20 years in jail if you fail. Easily. So how many are you willing to do it? So the people who make these videos won't do it because you know why? I gave them enough time to take me to court. I haven't heard anything from a lawyer, nothing at all, nothing in my emails, not a thing. You know why? Because they don't have anything, because they lied. And this right here is a fake product. I'm looking at this right here. Look at this fake product right here. Where is the contrast levels? You got it right here in the front and talked about how black this screen was right here. Talked about the light in the environment, all this stuff. And you know where else you failed? Your meter. See your meter sitting against your screen? See, your meter told the color of your screen. Your meter is black. Your screen is gray. You can clearly see it by looking at the meter. That's black. This is gray. If you're going to try to convince me at the end of the day that this is black, then how is that possible that that's black and we have this right here? What happened? That's a gray screen you just displayed. So I think this is what you did. You started off trying to paint it a black screen, but it changed colors, because it's funny because the same color we have here is the same color of the screen that happened to the charcoal gray involving the magic paint. Yep-er-ee. So explain that. Because, again, they're coming in here and ranting and carrying on and acting up. We could take it to court. Let's let a judge decide. Nobody wants to talk anymore. Well, I'm not going back and forth. Gentlemen, anything I bring up right now because of these open cases, anything I bring up, I'm challenging you in court. There's no YouTube back and forth. There's none of that. I will see you in court. We're going to challenge this. I'm going to challenge your company on this. What are you selling customers at the end of the day? Is this a real product? You said it's a black level, right? I'm not seeing a black level there. I'm clearly seeing that's black, that's gray. So are you deceiving the customers? Are you ripping them off? I didn't hear one time in this video about range gain. Not one time. What gain was the screen when you painted it in? How do you get the other gain to begin with? Now, Danny, when we purchase your product, we will be contacting you. My friends will be contacting you, and they want to question you because they want to know, how do we get the range gain? We're going to put this thing in a paint shaker just to make sure it's mixed really, really well. And we're going to pop it open, and we're going to do several tests on your products. One of the tests I'm going to do on your product is I'm going to put you against several firms of black surfaces. I want to see how many times your screen turns out to look like this. But you can't look at black paint. You said you did all your tests, right? You said your product is properly tested. That's what you claimed, right? All right, I'm going to challenge your company. You said it's a properly tested product. And we'll see how it works. Now, like I said, gray screen there, as you can see. Let's go over here real quick. Let's look at this real quick. I want to go over to, and this is the product. This is supposed to be, he puts down in the description, best ambient light rejection black screen paint on the market. All right? And this is what we see. We see your paint here, and this is the black paint. It's supposed to be the Phantom. That's another thing we're going to challenge you to in court. That's going to involve a lawsuit between you and Wake. You both stated that this is my product at the end of the day, so you're going to have to back that up. If you can't, you're going to get sued. Just want to put that out there so you know it's coming. All right? I don't want you to be shocked like I didn't know about you. You're going to know about that. You're going to be sued for that. All right? So you're going to have to back that up. Until then, we're going to get your product here. And we're going to run some very serious tests on it. So what I'm seeing here is there's no way in the world you're going to compete with our stuff. At the end of the day, your stuff is coming up gray. We have black over there. This should be blending into that. If this is black. And it's not at all, period. And the reason why your screen is pulling the white level, the higher white level, because your screen physically isn't black, it's gray. Let's do 2 videos of this. I'm going to do these side by side. I'm going to grab this video again. And I want to go and I want to look at something here that he showed off in that video. Because I want to keep that one there on pause. Let's go over here and let's grab it again. Let's go over here and get this real quick. Okay. From here.
Creations that I've ever seen. And I've seen black silver, black Phantom.
But you still haven't explained why this is coming out black and this is not. Yep, of course. And you gotta have it doing these people. Do you hate these people? Because every video he does for them, he sabotages the daylights out of them. He does. All right, let me see something for a minute. All right, so here you're showing this is your product. You're claiming this is a black screen, 100% black. And you're saying this is supposed to be our phantom product. This is what you're explaining, right? So you're saying that your black paint here pulls a white level high enough that it turns ours dark. That's what you stated, right? Because that's what I'm looking at here. So why is the white level so high on your product? Oh, because I have amazing black screen paint. That's why. Maybe it's because your screen is pretty much, technically, it is a gray screen. There it is. You have a gray screen. Gentlemen, are you ready for court? I am. I got so many questions, so many things I want to discuss in that courtroom. So many things. You explain that. Why in the world are we looking at the same thing, but your screen is gray now, and this is black? So this means this would pull a high white level because it's gray and not technically black. And this one right here is, again, you say it's our product, which we're going to test that theory. I'm going to put a phantom against your product and all the other black technology we have over here. So again, what's going on here? What are you doing? You're lying on camera. Isn't this what you're selling your product is? You got an active shopping cart on here? You do, right? All right, you got an active shopping cart on here. Has this product been tested? It hasn't been tested because we're going to do all the testing for you. And we're going to get those tests back to you for you to do those tests yourself. And if you can't, we're going to challenge you in court over this. So, what's going on here? All right, let's go over real quick and let's look at, we got it here, we got it over here. This is supposed to be the product right here. Let's go look at the product itself. What does this say in the description of this product? Let's go over to, let me see. And again, that PSP, yeah, I talked to a lawyer about that. You got to swap that quick, buddy, because that's called an infringement lawsuit, which means that you have a similar infringement lawsuit. Your product is so similar to freaking the PlayStation Portable that they can file a lawsuit against you. You have to remove everything on here that has anything to do with the PSP. Now, you can put down something premium paints, but you can't put down PSP. Because even when we do our research and I kind of copy and paste all of these to YouTube, the only thing that pops up is PSP, which means you're too close. All right, this is the product supposed to be right here. Right, that's the product right there. Now, mind you, we've seen this one already. One of these has a charcoal gray. I think he changed the colors. They took all these off so you couldn't tell which is which. That's what he did. Look, so you can't tell which one's a charcoal gray. Hold on, let's click right here for a minute. Let's see which one is a charcoal gray. Let's see, there you go. That's a charcoal black. Which one did you do? Let me see. Let's check this one over here and see what this is. Let's see. This one here is dark gray. So it would be the charcoal black. It's the one that basically you couldn't get the color right because it's a different, complete different color. That's the one we call the magic paint. But the one you have over here, you have it down as black. All right, so let's go back because this is the one that didn't come out the right color when he painted it. It came out a complete different color. Let's go over to this product over here. He says it's black. This is the same in the shopping cart we're looking at here. And he claims it's a black screen. What does it say in your product description? It says color black, right? All right, here, let's see at the bottom. It says range gain. There's no such thing as range gain. You can't back that up. Your company's going to be challenged on that. I already put the report in already. The claim is fraud for your company. It's already been submitted. So you can't back that up. I gave you enough time to remove that. What else do you have on here? You have on here roll on. You have front and or rear. I haven't seen any demonstrations on rear yet. Judging by what I've seen on your paint on demonstration, there's little black specks that popped up all over your screen because whatever was in there was not mixing too well. If you were to roll that on a rear surface and hit the color white, I guarantee you would see little black spots pop up. So let's go to your link here for your range gain demonstration. Where does it go to? It goes right directly back to your demonstration involving just the paint on application. That's it.
nap roller. You can use a 3/8.
I've seen this one a dozen times. I've seen it a dozen times. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about range gain in it. We dubbed a copy of it, so when we go to court on this, we'll play the entire video. All right? But again, people, you have to be careful because you don't want to get ripped off. See how gray the screen is here? I'm going to show you how dirty this product came up when he painted the screen. Look at it. This is a one-coat application, and that's how dirty the surface came up. It's not dirty. What the problem he's having is that the screen is supposed to be black. It's not coming up black. It's coming up gray. All his products do this. That's why we call them magic paints, because they can't produce the right color. So if you notice, look at the bucket over here. The bucket is black. What we have over here is gray. Now you see those little white spots pushing through? That's because the material, whatever he's painting, is so weak. Whatever he has in it is basically not covering the screen correctly, and it's coming up with these little white spots is actually the original surface here. Now that's one of the tests we're going to put under his screens. We're going to do an orange wall, we're going to do a yellow wall, a pink wall, some bright colors. How well is this stuff going to cover onto a wall? And if I paint this on a wall, how much of the pink, the blue, the green, and red are going to push through? And how many times do I have to roll over this screen to get that to disappear? Because right now, this is his first coat, and this is what he's getting. Can you imagine you painting this on your screen or white wall, and all these white spots are pushing through, and you're thinking like, okay, what the heck is going on here? First impression is last impression. Some customers, they paint a screen in, they want to see good results on the door. If they're not getting them good results, they'll be very unhappy.
So here's one I've already done the first coat.
First coat.
And this is on a light. That's why I recommend that you use black, because you're going to use less material. This is a...
Stop lying. Less material? How do you use less material? If you're painting a 100-inch screen 4x7, right? And you paint it black, right? Wouldn't you need the same amount of paint to paint a 100-inch screen 4x7? You're going to paint half of that and leave the other half black? That's not less paint. It's the same amount of paint it's going to take you to paint the black screen in. It's going to be the same amount of paint to paint this paint in. Again, lie, lie, lie. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Pours it down.
I'm going to do the second coat, and I'm going to show you here.
Now, let's look at the paint. What color is the paint now? The paint is actually gray. So it's gray, and it's got this weird dark cloud here, which shows that whatever was in there was not mixing well. That doesn't look like black paint. Now, that happened with the dark charcoal gray. I sat there and said on camera, I said, man, if this happens to this paint, it's going to happen to the other one. Your other product is not coming up black. Let's come out of here for a minute. I'm going to just bounce out of here just for a minute right here. And let's go over to right there. It's the same color as this. Literally, what you painted in the demonstration is the same color here. What you just poured out of your container is that same color. What you wrote on your screen, the first application, is the same color here. Now, if you look at Solid Wake 5 in his demonstration on the magic paint, you will notice in that demonstration, which we got to find that one. Let me see. We go to our channel and get that one. And the magic paint is the same color also too, but a different paint. So do I have to buy two of your paints, shake them up in a paint shaker, paint them down, and see how well they match? Because then if that happens, you got some serious trouble too coming your way. So let's go over here and let's have a look here. We're going to go over and we're going to go to our channel and we're going to dig up the magic paint. I think I did that on a live demonstration. So we have to scroll down to find that one. So you guys lie too much. And then he gets up there and he starts lying and carrying on. Keep in mind, Solid Wake, we have you in two different demonstrations lying and deceiving customers. And then we have you basically deceiving customers, making a video against our products, committing fraud with fake receipts. So not going to look well for you. Keep on digging a hole for yourself. You want a shovel? I can get you a backhoe if you want, because you're really digging a big hole for yourself. It's not going to look well for you that you're going to go and you're going to lie for these guys and get up there and basically talk about a product that doesn't even work. You know, you mean to tell me you're standing in front of that screen and you can't tell the difference between one being black and one being gray? You did that in the magic paint demonstration. So I really can't see a difference here. Technically, you guys should not be driving. You don't know colors at all, period. Let's go pull you up. When I talk about these things, gentlemen, I don't come in and I don't lie, okay? I'm showing you what you need to see. And if you feel it's wrong that you're being prosecuted, what's wrong about it? You getting on camera and lying to people and telling them that they're getting a black product when they're actually getting a gray product? Is there anything wrong about that? That you lie to your customers and tell them that they're getting a range gain if you take the same paint and you paint it again? Another time, it changes into, it basically gives you another gain? No, you're lying. So, guess what? If you feel you've done nothing wrong whatsoever and all this is just bamboozle and a wild witch hunt, then we could take it before court of law and we'll let a judge decide. Doesn't seem you want to do that. Maybe because you weren't telling the truth. Now, for the customers, this helps the customer out. This is why when we start advising the customers to start asking for batch numbers and ask for products to be tested, we could show the activity of how you guys reacted. You came in the room screaming and carrying on and acting up. All that is going to be used for court. Did you know that? Yeah. The very fact that I want to open up hot mics, they can be used in courts. The reason why I opened up the hot mic, because I wanted to see the reaction of how you guys would react over basically having customers request to have the screens tested. What customer is going to argue about that? A batch number protects the customer and it protects the person who's selling the products. The person who's selling the products can back their products up because if someone comes in and tries to charge them for something they didn't do, they can back it. Customer has proof that the screen is working before they get it, so that's fantastic altogether. Who the freak's going to argue about that? But you guys came in the room carrying on and acting up, showing you were upset over this because you know why? You can't use batch numbers because your product's not tested. And therefore, you're upset because you can't continue to rip people off. That's what you're mad about. That's what it's all about. Your gravy train's being derailed. I'm going to do more than derail your gravy train. I'm going to do a lot more than that. I'm going to make sure that thing's going to end up in a scrapyard when I get done with you. I got enough evidence, gentlemen, and I don't need any more, but I want more. I want enough to bury you so far in that courtroom that you can't even open up your eyes. You can't even lift your head. That much guilt's going to crush you in that courtroom. Make sure we got enough on you, because you need it. You ripped a lot of people off, and this one's already starting down the road of ripping people off. You sat there and said, I'm going to take you to court and sue you for slander. I'm still waiting on that. Tell me where I'm suing you for slander. I'm lying about, what am I lying about? You can't even back up range gain. Am I lying about range gain? Is that a lie? How come we can't find anything on it? None of you guys talk about it at all, period. Why not? All right then, because it doesn't exist. I would love to see this. So you're ripping off customers. That's what you're doing, right? Okay. Oh, man. These two, I think they all get together and they have this little powwow. This is we told you how to make it. Right here. This is the videos where we challenge you to make our screen paints right here. And you failed. These are the demonstrations right here. Also showing Crow having a huge amount of aerosol cans in your demonstration. Again, we can bring all that up in court. So you did demonstrations to try to tear down my company by saying you're making our products for free. We gave you the option to make it for free and you couldn't make it. And we had to turn around and do the demonstration for you. So you're going to sue in court for that too. Look at this. Jamie cursing us out. We got so much evidence on you guys. It is not even funny. You're not going home, gentlemen. I mean this. You are not going home. You really think at the end of the day that you're going to see the light of day again? You're not going home. I told you, do your research. I watched a court hearing for cyber harassment. And the people who came in there had nothing compared to what you had at the end of the day. And they got 1 year to 5 years. 1 to 5 years. And you guys have pictures, videos. There is countless amount of evidence that you wouldn't believe. Look at this. Is Jamie on his channel, on his company's channel, showing off pornography. We're taking your companies to court to show that you have abused your company, you've abused your platform, all that. As we're looking through some of the evidence that's coming up on these guys. We have email messages that you contacted people outside of YouTube and made death threats and all kinds of stuff. We have all that information on you. So you're looking at 10, 20-year prison sentence. These people that went in there, they had small stuff, and they still got hit with heavy sentences. So you're looking at a lot of time in jail and some serious fines. Post office fraud, that's a 20-year prison sentence. You know that, right? 2 of y'all got those things. Now you imagine that you're already serving time already for the stuff you already did. And can you imagine the post office charges kicking in and they telling that you have to go to court because you're being charged with mail fraud? Now you got an additional 20 years sitting on top of your head with the time you're already doing. Then you're being dug up again and they say, hey, we have to talk to you again. You got to come into court. Your company is being arraigned on charges for fraud, perjury. Yeah. That's going to be an additional another 20 years stacked on top of that. And then they might even give you more time because you have previous prior accounts. So that's why I said, gentlemen, it's not worth doing the dumb stuff. Let's find this magic paint. I got it in here. All right. This would be, yeah, that's the free screen paint we should make free. We probably passed over it. So you can't lie on camera. You got to stop lying on camera. I don't know where you guys get these ideas. It's kind of like you guys get together, you have these little powwow meetings. You go, okay, this is a new way. We're going to figure out how to lie and rip off customers. And no one's going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find out and I'm going to expose it. Now, for those of you who sat there and said, well, you know, we exposed this company. Well, if you did, why are you not taking me to court? I'm still waiting. And Jamie, by the way, where's my black paint? I haven't got it yet. I'm still waiting. I got to go down to Home Depot. I got to buy black paint to put against my screen. I shouldn't have to do that because I asked you to buy it for me and you never bought it to me. What happened? Now, what are you going to do when we get in the courtroom and I ask that question? What are you going to say? Can't say nothing. That's not going to work. Got to answer me. Why didn't you send it? What happened? What went wrong? I thought you claimed for me to be this fraud and scammer at the end of the day. Where's my paint? I'm going to ask you in the court. Where's my stuff? So if you can't answer, guess what that means? I can pretty much slam the book at you on anything I want. Still waiting for my paint. All right, this right here, this is a failed demonstration here. Yeah, we're right next to it. Yeah, right up on the magic paint. Yeah, because I know that one right there from the door. So he painted this screen in twice. I knew it. When I looked at it, I said, man, this stuff is going to come up in the wrong color. I said, watch, we get this black paint over here, and this stuff changes to a different color. No, thank you. Y'all did the demonstration for us. We appreciate it. But I'm still going to do your stuff anyway. I still want to test it. I bet you black paint will do better than your product. I guarantee you. Oh, my goodness, man. The things we get caught up into. Oh, this is where we can show where Jamie basically on his website, the SKU numbers. I know you've removed them off your site now, but your SKU numbers were coming up under different products. Because again, remember, you were too lazy to go in and change them. Now you've removed them all of a sudden. Don't worry, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 testimonies on that for the court. Yeah, remember you called me a scammer? We got your email address calling me a scammer. I told you, when we walk in that courtroom, you're going to see all these brown boxes coming in behind me. That's the evidence I'm using to prosecute you. I want to make sure that you don't survive anything. See right there? This is where we filed with the CCB. This is copyright infringements. I forgot about that, Jamie. You got $30,000 in one and $1 million for another one. I'm taking you to federal court for the other one, which I'm going to charge you. You're going to get 10 years in jail for that one, just for touching those copyrights. And since you have a prior conviction, they might even give you a little more. Now, you said your product at the end of the day pulled contrast levels, right? So I am going to purchase the Cinemax. Well, I won't be purchasing it. We can't because, you know, we buy it. Someone else is going to just, he's going to take the money and put it back in my account. So ain't no point. Oh, there's no point whatsoever. I'm going to have to challenge some of these freaking, after we get done with this, I'm on such a freaking adrenaline rush right now. I'm going to challenge some of these freaking projection companies right here because these fake projectors are freaking hilarious. Oh, here we go. This is another one where you were stalking me. Oh, I forgot to print that out. I got to send that. We got to take that over to the. And you call me nigga? Yeah. All right. I'll take that over tomorrow. I'll scan that one. Matter of fact, where's my phone? I'm going to capture that video. I got to get a picture of that. He's got a court case on him coming up pretty soon, too. So let me see what we got to do here. I want a picture of that one. I want to look up this one and scan it out and take it down to the police so they can go in and scan this into the system for the judge. Okay, let me see. There we go. There we go. Now, you know all those pictures are being sent, they're being scanned into the system already, right? So you know that. Look at this stuff we have on here. It's unbelievable. Umpteen demonstrations on this one. You scammed your customers. Here's right here. Dropping your prices down to 50 bucks. We also have right here. Oh, the Frankenstein. I forgot about that. You also, your company's being challenged on the Frankenstein. You actually made money off this company and you basically sold products under their name. Did you pay them any royalties? Nope, you did not, did you? All right, then. You have to deal with that. Customer screens washing out. Gee whiz Louise, that is absolutely downright awful. Poor customer. Rip them off. Whew, man. Oh, by the way, all messages that were sent over, they were just already transferred over to the portal over there for investigation. So hope there was nothing bad in there because I didn't read through it. I just sent it over. And since you guys are already on the case already, on an open case, all of you have been put in on that case. They're going to put it on you guys. So, no, you figure it out. It's not my problem at the day. I would suggest you to lawyer up, though. What do we have right here? Knock off. Oh, yeah, that's that one, a product projector. Black paint. Trying to claim your product is actually black. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, Mr. Matthew. I told you, Mr. Matthew. We dubbed all the videos that you did against my product, claiming that my product was nothing more than, actually, against the projector that you used. Didn't you? I'm going to sue you for $5 million, buddy. Maybe 10. I'm not sure yet on that, but I'm going to drag you into court. I mean, your life is over when I get done with you. Commit fraud against my company? Bad idea. Told you I dubbed all y'all stuff. This is 10 months ago, which means within statute of limitations, I can still come get you. See? The video timeline? 10 months ago. Which means under 10 months ago, you are still under statute of limitations, which means it's up to 2 or 3 years. It's 2 to 3 years for statute of limitation for certain things. You committed fraud against my company, which means I can legally come get you. I'm going to go dig up your order form, and we're going to start the process of scanning you into the system and putting you with the rest of the group. Busted. Danny's water paint right here. This is where he found out that his paint was nothing but watered down screen paint right here. Stealing Google images off Google, stealing images off Google. Gee whiz, you guys you just dirty. Y'all dirty. We got it all here. All the evidence, all the recordings here. This is the goopity goo paint. Oh, we got to dig into that. We got to dig into the goopity goo. The goopity goo. No, gentlemen, let me tell you something today. You want to pull the Christian card and say, oh, but you're not a Christian because I'm prosecuting. You need to be prosecuted. You did a lot of dirty stuff. You ripped off a lot of people. You deceived a lot of people. You attacked my company for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, all the stuff that you did, you're going to pay for it. And I'm going to take you to court. And I'm going to prosecute you on that. And there's other agencies besides me that are basically following charges against you. Did you know that? I'm not the only person coming after you. There are several and multiple agencies that are now going to be coming after you. So yes, you've gotten yourself in quite a bit of trouble here. What's the word for it? If I did too much was a person. That's what you did. You did too much. Jamie broke multiple charge. He got multiple charges on him. He has to answer for every single one of the charges. His charges have been extended. It is quite a lot of charges in there. And then he turned around and sent death threats in the middle of an open case. This is the time. And then you're going to put down in the middle of the death threat, you're going to make fun of the Lehigh Sheriff's Police Department over here. Are you kidding me? That is the one person, when you sit before them, that you want mercy, is that judge. And you guys have broke every rule in the book. I watched somebody get a year to 5 years in jail, and they have nothing compared to what I've been through and what you have done. So if you think at the end of the day that you're going home, you are sadly mistaken. Go talk to a lawyer. Have a conversation with them and say, hey, look, tell them everything that I just told you and see what he says. So, you know, it is what it is. And on top of that, looking at this product, you guys, oh, it's awful. Looking at these products that you guys are doing, it's horrible. Gee whiz, I'm looking at all the evidence we pumped on you guys. It's just crazy. I didn't realize we had this much stuff on here. Jamie, we have accounts with your email popping up multiple times on our business accounts, on both accounts. And I know you guys feel that, okay, I'm going to hide behind fake accounts. It's going to FBI cyber unit. They're basically specialized in tracking down emails. They'll figure out exactly where you're at and everything. All your information, they will have everything on you. That's why all your stuff goes to the police. There's an incident report number that pops up. We go over there and we type your information in and you go in there. It's a file on you. So now there's another section on there for basically for companies who commit fraud. This is where I'm challenging your company. I'm also going to be putting all your information in there, and you're going to have to go to court and you're going to have to be able to defend your company that you have not been doing these acts at the end of the day. Meanwhile, we're going to be filing charges against your company too. So what's the problem? You come in here and you want to argue with me. What are you arguing about? It's just simple and plain, gentlemen. It's so simple. All you have to do is show up for court. And if you're innocent and I'm the one that's bad and wrong on all of this, you'll be able to prosecute me. If not, you're going to lose everything. That's how it works. It's simple. You got to back all that up. So did you lie about my company's products? Yes or no? If you say you didn't, then you're going to need the information needed to back all that up. Because if not, you're going to need a lot of trouble. That's all. It's just simple and plain. Coming here and sending me 34 emails and crying and whining to me is not going to help you. Just digging a deeper hole for yourself. I'll see you in court. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. If you're in there crying and whining and sending anything else outside of that, it shows guilt. That's what it shows. You crying to me, you screaming and yelling, that shows guilt at the end of the day. If you know that you got me, then guess what? You got 2 weeks, get an attorney, bring me to court, bring me papers, all that, come on waiting. Just like Jamie at the end of the day, I gave him the opportunity. I said, hey, look, if I'm doing all this stuff, if I'm ripping off people at the end of the day, send me black paint. Send you a certified letter right to your door. You signed for it, right? Okay, then. What's the problem? Why are you crying? What are you whining about? I gave you the opportunity. What's the problem? We got so much stuff. Oh, my goodness. I forgot we made your stuff out of Metallica paint right there. This is why I leave the mic open, so you can hear them come in here and cry. That's why. They get mad. They get angry. They get frustrated. Look, man. I keep telling you at the end of the day, oh, this is when we made your product right here, the PSP. Oh, I forgot we made the PSP products. We made them, and we gave the ingredients for you to make it right there. That's the PSP products. We show you how to make them. I'm going to show you when they get over here. I bet you I tell you exactly what's in it. I guarantee you. I can tell you exactly what's in it. The fact that it's having a very difficult, it's doing the same thing as the Goopity Goo. The Goopity Goo had a very hard time maintaining to a surface. Again, it's kind of a little bubble effect kept popping up. That was the water that wasn't taking so well. Look, Jamie upset again. Now, if you sit there and say, Jamie, well, I never called him the N-word at the end of the day, let's put it this way. You started a rumor, right? You told people lies at the end of the day, right? And if these people became, and you continue to fuel that rumor by telling people I was doing these things, and these people take that anger that they're hearing from you and they lash out at us and call us niggers and all kinds of stuff, guess who gets blamed for that? You do. They get charged for it, but you get the brunt of the blame. Because if it wasn't for you going out and running your mouth and carrying on like that, that would have never happened. There you go. That's why anything that happens, even if you have nothing to do with it, you'll get labeled with it. That's why they're charging you all under one file. You're not getting separate files. You're all putting you guys all in the same file. So whatever Jamie, he did, and y'all did, it's all in one big pop of what the freak did I get myself into? Yeah. That's what this conspiracy thing is. I try to warn you about that. I sat there and told you. Do we listen? No, we don't listen at all. We don't listen at all when we tell you this stuff. Y'all just keep on going around doing dumb stuff. And I just keep collecting the evidence and loading it up, sending it over. Keep doing dumb stuff. Like Jamie sending death threats in the middle of an open case. That was really, really stupid. Because that means any chance that your lawyer, and if it was just any chance of you getting bail, you lost that. That's gone. You destroyed it. Because it shows that not only did you disrespect the courts, you disrespect everybody that involved in law enforcement officers because you feel like you could do whatever the freak you want to do, and they're going to make an example of you. And that's something you do not want in court. Last thing you want is for a judge to make an example of you. You don't want that crap. You want to go in there as humble as you possibly can. No, they're right there. There's a process server we had go to your front door. Right there. That's going to come up in your court case. That we had to have a process server come to your door and basically draw for you to come to court for basically copyright infringements. That's in the charges right over there. That's going to be bought up. They got the documents that we had come to your front door. They got them. Let me see right here. Bum, 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 bum. We also sent them proof of service. And so we had the officer come to the door. I'm talking about they came to his front door and they served them. Now this time around, it's not going to be well, it's going to be process service. Still have to come to the door because we still have copyrights we're still hitting you with. But these guys will come to your front door, going to be FBI law agencies and agents, and they're different. They're not going to come in and they're going to come in, they're going to walk right through your building. They're going to come get you handcuffs on you. I'm going to go with this one right here. Because I know it's in here. It's the magic paint. It's in here. We're looking for the magic paint. The magic paint. We're looking for that right now. You know, contrary. And again, Danny, getting back to you. What are you doing over there? Why did you lie with Silent Wake 5 and tell people that that was a black screen? Found it. Magic paint. Got it. We got it. It's just always in there somewhere weird. There it is. Now, you see the same color board here? This is the one you painted in, right? You said right here. This is the PSP paint. So you painted in right here, right? Look at the color of that. All right? Now, let's go back over here. And let's look at the color there. Yeah, man. Nothing changed. Those are two different paints. We just noticed that when we was in the forum site. The guy was like, wait a minute. I've seen that before. I said, yeah, I've seen it too. He says, that's a charcoal gray. I just sat there and said, if we buy that black paint and that stuff turns into the same color as the charcoal gray, which it comes into that funny gray color, you're going to have problems on your hands, man. And we can show in the two different demonstrations that your product literally came out the same color as it did in the charcoal gray. And then in the other video, you can clearly see when you poured out the paint that it was gray. It wasn't black, but what you was mixing up in the bucket was basically black. Right here, look, look. It's crazy. That's what I say. His stuff changes colors. He's got that chameleon paint. But now, if it was chameleon paint would change if you move around. That would change. I don't know what the freak this stuff is. Now look at the color here. That's the same color that you see sitting right there on the other screen. What the heck is going on, man? So you're lying. Let's get back to what we talked about our topic here. These fake screen paint products. These fake black mixes. Now we got fake black mixes on the market. You sit there talking about, oh, this is the #1 mix, blah, 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 blah. Your screen literally came out gray. How in the world is your bucket here? Let's look at your bucket here. And on top of that, how many times you passed over the screen, it still has that look to it. Now, see right here? See where the screen is black? But when you were painting over the screen, this is the problem. It was smearing.
Evenly on either side of the roller.
It was turning gray. See? Your screen is turning gray. You don't see all that right there? Look at that right there. That's all turning gray. What the freak? You got some black coming in here, and you got black coming in over here. Look, that's black. That's all coming in gray. What is going on with your screen?
Steps that you would have in hand with your product there. So you can see I'm not doing anything.
But what you mixed up in the container
in the floor
was
as
black.
Polaris as the coating, and I'm going to change that out here with Sirius A.
How on God's green earth?
Just kind of mixing up the formula.
That was black in the bucket. You painted over here. It turned black, and then it turned gray. I literally watched the gray go back and forth, streak through your screen. And then you come over here and you paint another version of it up close so we can see it better on camera right there, and it's gray. Then when you go to pour it out.
This is a light gray that I painted it on. But you're going to see I'm going to do the second coat, and I'm going to show you here.
That's gray. Gray over here, and that's supposed to be a black screen. Or what paint was this supposed to be at the end of the day? Did he even say what paint it was? That's gray screen right over there. And then we come over here, and we got the same color here. What the freak are you guys doing at the end of the day? What are you doing? You're lying on camera. That's what you're doing. Solid Lake 5, you look like an idiot again. You look like an idiot. You came on there, you painted the screen in, it came up gray. Right? Right here. This is where you did it. You painted it on, right? Took it out of the container over here, right? Fucking magic paint, I swear. See? That's the color you pulled out. Right?
So let's put it up to the light. Again, he says it's a dark gray. That's a...
Danny said. Dark gray. So question is, are you colorblind? Because what color is this you just pour off your lid? That's not dark gray. That doesn't look anything near dark gray to me. So that's a dark gray that came up looking like this. That looks nothing like that color. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. So that same color there looks exactly like the same color here. See, the first time I saw that happen with his paint, and I saw him staring it, when he was staring it up, the paint didn't change colors. Like usually if you stare at something, it changes color. You can have a cup of hot chocolate at the bottom and pour milk in, but when you start to stir it, that milk is automatically going to turn brown because it's going to mix well with it. But your product didn't mix. So as you were stirring it around, the only thing that was black from whatever coated onto the knife, when you pulled it through, the color still remained the same. But what was on the knife was a different color. We showed two colors coming up on your screen. You didn't see that happen? When you mix the paint, watch, I'm going to show you. It should have already mixed, but it didn't. And the fact that he shook that screen up, that paint up that hard and didn't change over, shows you that whatever he has in there is not blending well. So I'll show you in the demonstration. Watch when he goes to stir it up.
Polaris. Let's put it up to the light. Again, he says it's a dark gray. That's a...
Danny said that the product is a dark gray. Keep in mind.
Exactly what I'm seeing here. Looks fantastic. And again, as you can see, it is very thin. It is.
Now the color we're seeing here, this is the color the screen came up. See this gray right here? That's the color. It didn't transform to this one. It transformed to this one. This is the other interesting part everybody caught on when they're watching the video. When you were staring the knife up in it, guess what? The knife changed colors, but this right here still remained the same as gray. So whatever's in there that's making that color is not mixing well, and it's the same reaction that happened to the black screen.
It's very thin.
Now see the knife he's using right now already has paint on it, as you can see before he put it in. Hold on for a minute. There we go. It was already dark. Now watch when he starts to stare it up.
Just so you can kind of see the consistency of it. So
Paint don't
again,
change.
Even this is different from.
Let's go here.
From what is.
The color didn't change one time. So whatever you have in there never mixed. On top of that, I noticed something else too, and I just realized I got to back up on something here. Your knife. What color was your actual knife? Let me see something for a minute. Because you lied right there. Your knife was not that. Your knife wasn't white. If your knife was white, what would happen is if you're staring this up, the handle would be white too also. So what happens is when you're staring this in here, only this part that was dipped into the paint would change colors. If the knife was actually white, then this part would be white because it's not dipped in. Only this part would be. So your knife wasn't actually white. It was actually black the entire time. Watch, I'm going to show you. Boy, I'm telling you, I should have been a lawyer. Your knife was never white. The knife was dark the entire time. So when you stared it up, the first time I saw this, and it just caught me just now. So if the knife was white, that means the handle that you're holding on to right now, how would the color change here? The color couldn't change here due to the fact that this was the only part that was dipped into the paint. So how would that change too? Was it made out of paper, just absorbed all the way up to here? No. Right here, you can clearly see that your hand's right here. So this knife was dark. So when you turned it, when you pulled it around to the paint and you pulled it up and tried to show the color of it, you were just showing the color of the knife at all. It didn't change at all, period. You guys think you're slick at the end of the day. So if you say what I'm saying is fake, no. If this knife was white, right? How would this change to a color of a dark gray when this never touched the paint? Only this touched the paint. So only this would be the color of what's in the paint, not where your handle's at. So if you turn that knife over and it's black all the way up through here, that means that what we're seeing here is just the knife. The paint never actually attached itself. Watch. How would that be dark too? See when you bring it up? Watch this. It's gray. It's not black. It's gray. Gee whiz, you guys are so easy. So easy to catch. See? Your knife is gray, not black. Now, I'm going to get all these pictures magnified because it is interesting. I don't know why I didn't see that. So you can see the paint stirring around in it, but you can't see the color changing. a good shot here. Paint never changes. If you look at it, look at the color that we have here. And look at the color we have here. All that stirring and it never changed at all. And if you look at the knife is showing two colors. See right there? There's a color here, a shade here, and then it gets darker right in there. Which means that the color that you're basically staring around is the color of that color, not that color. I don't know why I didn't see that at first. That is really interesting. So all that stirring and that color never popped up. That's why you're stirring for so long, because you're trying to get the color to turn to this, but it's not. Wow. Interesting, isn't it? That shows how many times you stirred that container and that color didn't even change. These are two different colors popping up. So what happened? See? See the gray right there? This is the color of the knife. That wasn't the color of the paint, because the same color is right here too also. And this never even touched the paint. This is where your hand was at steering. If that touched the paint, that means the tip of your fingers would be covered in paint, and they're not. The gray is from here to here, and whatever was on here washed off and came back to the original color of the knife. The reason why it looks wet, because it was sitting in the paint. So you're trying to say that the color that's stirring in the knife is the same color as this. No, your knife is actually dark black. It's a black knife. See? Because if that was the case, then you would have paint all the way up here, and your fingers would be covered in paint if that was the case. But that part of the knife never even touched the can of paint. And since it never touched the can of paint, that means your fingers don't have paint all over them. That means that that part of the knife is actually the same color here. The only difference is this is wet because it was actually sitting in the paint, and the color that's left over here is actually what the paint turned into. I bet you right now you're trying to figure out how I got the freak in your head right now. It's called being intelligent at the end of the day, not being an idiot at the end of the day, because again, you thought that you were going to get on camera and basically do these demonstrations at the end of the day. I'm going to slam you with a fraud charge, a couple of fraud charges along with them, because I'm going to show that you work with them at the end of the day to do these fraud demonstrations so he can continue to scam customers. I'm going to lump you right in here with it. You want to be a part of that team? You got your wish. I can literally see that. I don't know why I didn't see that first. Because I'm thinking, like, I'm looking at the knife and I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, how in the world is the knife dark here? And he's trying to say that this is the color of the paint. But as you're stirring the paint up, the paint never changed colors. It's still gray. If you're stirring this up, then that means that the paint should be the same color as this right here and this right here. But if you look at your knife here, your knife's handle is the same color this is. This never touched the paint. If it did, your fingers would be the color of this right here and this right here. What the frick you guys think you're doing on camera? Really? Just ripping people off left and right. That was the most fake review I've ever seen in my entire life. This is why no one believes anything that comes out of your mouths. That's why I had to break it down in slow motion. Because then you can see the knife, this never touched the paint. This is the exact same color as that. And see this light gray? That is whatever he was mixing around in that container grafted itself to that right there. The reason why that looks wet and looks different because it was inside of the paint. That's why. Oh, I didn't see it at first because I'm looking at it. When I saw it, I thought this was, I couldn't figure like how the freak do you stick a knife into paint, stare it around, and only this comes out the color of what's here, but the paint color is showing that right there. What kind of Easter egg magic crap is at the end of the day? No, what happened was whatever's at the bottom of that paint stayed at the bottom of that paint and didn't mix to anything. So when he basically put the knife in there and he started staring it around, that light gray you're seeing right here, that's that's in the container. That's what's in the container. This right here is not the paint. This is actually the color of the physical knife. It looks wet because basically it was inside of the can of paint. That's the other end of the knife right there, which is the same color right here. So in order for this to be the same color, that means the paint would have to be all the way up here and it would be on your fingers. Do you really want to go to court with me at the end of the day? Do you really, gentlemen, want to go to court with me? If I can see stuff that quick, that fast, and break things down, do you really want to walk into a courtroom with me? If I tell you when I go into a courtroom, I'm a different person. I could break it down. I mean, break it down in court. Everything. Pull everything out. Can you imagine if that happened to you in a courtroom just now? Y'all not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. And we got more evidence than that right there at the end of the day. I literally didn't see that first, so I'm glad I saw it. Look at that right there. You're not ready, but I am. Your gray paint, it changed. Yeah, it was gray, and it changed. So what happened? Because you shook the can up, and we watched you viciously shake that can up, and that paint didn't change. And then it happened to the black, because that's not black. That is definitely not black. That is literally the same color as what we're looking at over here. Yeah, ripping people off. So, Salaway 5, pretty much your credibility is shot. I mean, it's literally shot. It's gone. You've lied multiple times to pretty much just father the gain of these individuals that are ripping people off. What did you say here when you popped the top? Which is interesting. Look at this. So he shakes the paint up right here. This is the paint right here. We just saw that this was supposed to be the color of it right here. All right.
Check it out. This is Polaris. Let's put it up to the light. Again, he says it's a dark gray. That's a
dark gray, right? So what happened here when you shook the can up?
The product activate. Whereas we just took, that's it. And we're done. That's it. It doesn't take much at all, period. So the fact that he shook it up for that long and it still came out a different color.
You know why you shook it up that long? Because when you were mixing that paint in the next room, you were thinking, oh, shoot, this stuff is not going to go well on camera. This stuff didn't take. I'm going to have to. I bet you all were texting each other back and forth. You was probably telling, yo, this stuff is not taking. I'm in a live stream. I can't come out. You know, you can't come out of a live stream. You're stuck in this bad boy. So I know you was panicking in that room right now. That's why he's shaking it up. So I'm like, oh, but it worked. Let it work. Yeah, he's shaking it.
That's why we call it magic.
Tell me she's shaking it. Now watch when he pops the top.
Something no one's going to trust. No one's going to paint a screen down and have it come up a different color. So if you look at the surface, this is the surface before he painted it, right? So you can get a better shot because it's Wi-Fi and it's really messed up here. Let me see. All right, see the color of it?
See the color of the screen? Right? That's before he painted it. After he paints it, no change. That's after he painted it. Do you see a change there? Nope. That's before. I got pictures of this too on the forum site. They're like, what the freak? Like, yep, here's some more nonsense. Freaking, this is before. And this right here is afterwards. No change. And this is the color it was supposed to be. There you go. Now, the problem we have here in this demonstration over here, With the new one, these jokers started again. This is why I call y'all the Three Stooges. This is where y'all get the nickname from. This is why we call you the Stoogents. There you go. This is the same color screen as he tried with the charcoal. That charcoal color paint, whatever that's supposed to be, turned around, turning it into the same thing over here with the black. And what did he say for the product description of this product? It's supposed to be black. Tell me, does that look like black to you? It's not. So basically what you just told me, from what I just seen in those last few demonstrations, when I go to test your product, your screen paint can't read. You can't read, well, you can't read contrast. You're done on that. We know that from the door. But your screen paint can't produce black. I mean, not only can't produce black, but it can't turn to the color physical black, which it's supposed to be, because it doesn't work. Whatever powder you have in there, or whatever that pigment stuff you said you got from Sherman-Williams or whatever, mind you, say this stuff was not from over the counter. But anyway, it doesn't mix well at all, period. Now we got 3 videos to confirm your stuff is not working correctly. And how do you get on camera and go, well, see what you're seeing here, this right here is like ultimate shade. We call it stealth black. It's black, but it's a stealth mode. It's not showing itself right now, but if you look at it when you get it home after you purchase it, it'll come up this color, but right now it's in stealth mode. I can see that one coming up. All right, so we got no color here. This is basically, as you can see, that's gray. All right, we all can see that. Now we come over here to where Danny's pouring out the paint. And what color is coming out of that container that he was just mixing a few minutes ago that was black? What color is that? That's gray, right? All right, so let's look at the container here. Let's see, we get over here at this container over here. Right here, bump, 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 bump. There we go. Now the container here, it's black in the container, right? Let's come over here where he's mixing up the paint, right? What's in the container? It's black, right?
That out here with Sirius A. So I'm just kind of mixing up the formula, and that's
so how in the world
do, excuse me, whenever you get the formula,
did we end up here?
You're going to see I'm going to do the second coat, and I'm going to show you here just how simple.
Yeah, there you go. Now, you think you want to take me to court and say at the end of the day that I'm slandering your company? Everybody can see that. Everybody, your screen did not produce the color that you claimed it to be. We looked at the charcoal gray or black gray, whatever you call that stuff, it came out gray. You look at the black paint that you said you made at the end of the day, it came out gray. You look at the paint you were stirring around in the bucket, it was black, you pour it out, it came out gray. And when you roll over the screen, this is what he was going through. This is why it took him so long to paint the screen, because the paint is so weak that the gray was pushing through. And then he advises you to paint the surface black first because you're going to use less paint. No, you're just going to see, hopefully, less of the paint breaking up and whatever's on the other end pushing through. But if it comes up gray and your paint is black on the other end, what do you think you're going to see? Ah, yes. You're going to see a jacked up screen. That's what you're going to see.
Simple it is.
Now watch how many times he rolls over the screen.
Move the paint around. So you saw I was doing that on the screen. It's obviously going to take a little less time to do it here because this isn't screen size. Then come back and use a little bit of pressure.
Now, all the little white spots you're seeing all over the screen, that comes from the surface not taking. It's not taking. The gray screen is pushing through. No matter how many times he rolls over the screen, those little white spots will pop up because, again, his screen, at the end of the day, is having a problem being able to marry to the gray surface, which means when we test it under a blue, green, red, or yellow wall, guess what's going to pop through? Little yellow spots, little red spots, little green spots.
Push. You see how I'm spreading that out? And I'm starting.
And that question here I got to ask Danny real quick. See your color, your rollers? If your paint in your container was black, why are your rollers gray? That's why I warn people at the end of the day, get your batch numbers. Make sure it has a batch number attached to it. Make sure that product is tested before you ship it out.
Previous roll. Now I'm going to go back and do my light roll, and you're going to see I come half over right there. So halfway across the previous line.
Nothing changed.
Do that across the screen.
Nothing changing.
It's that simple. That's it.
So you basically rolled over the screen the first time and you saw these white imperfections popping through. Then you go back over it again multiple times to find out that nothing has changed. Nothing's changed. You can still see the white spots pushing through, right?
I'll take, there's our screen.
There's your screen. Look at that. See all the little white spots pushing through? Yep. Now, I've done screens through Silver Ticket, and Silver Ticket has this protective coat. Now, when we do a screen, we hit it the first time. I say light coat over top of it. I've done these right on camera. And you'll paint the screen. You'll see little spots push through. That's because the surface has a protective coating. That doesn't have a protective coating. That's freaking primer. So primer is designed to stop all that. If you have anything oily or anything on your wall that the paint might not be taken well, that's what that primer is designed to do. You ever seen primer have a problem? If you roll over top of it with paint and the paint pushes through on the other end, that's a problem with your paint, not the primer. If you're still seeing the primer after you painted the surface, that means your paint is weak. It's cheap, it's weak. It doesn't have the ability to be able to do that one coat application, which again costs a little bit more, but it's better because then it's less work you got to do at the end of the day. But that's a primer he's going against, and he's having that problem on primer. So keep in mind, when we do a surface that has a protective coat, we do a light coating over first, let that dry, and then knock it out. So that's how we do our demonstrations on that. One time I did a childproof wall. We do advise to prime those. Those walls are freaking headaches. Because I bumped into one of them. I was like, nope, not doing this one ever again. We're going to coat it with the primer and go over top of it because they have that protective coating just in case if your kids jack up the wall, you can wipe it off. And that stuff is a pain in the neck to roll over. But that has a protective coating on it. We got to prime over that. This is actual primer he's having a problem with. So if he's having a problem with actual primer, good luck on your wall at the end of the day or your screen. You're going to have to prime everything that stuff touches, but then make it even worse. If the primer's having a problem with it, what happens to a surface that's not primed? Then what? What kind of nightmare you got waiting for you? That's what I say. It's not tested. This stuff is not tested. Let's show you what the product looks like after it's dried. This is where things get really complicated. You see right here? You see that shining coming off the screen? That's bad. See all those imperfections popping up in the surface? That's also bad. What the freak is that going on over there? Hold on for a minute.
Nice, kind of thin finish there.
Right there. Hold on for a minute. There we go. He said nice thin finish. Do you see that? Does that look like a nice finish to you? Look at that. What's that? See those little black spots I told you about? That's whatever powder he has in there that's not mixing well. So if he were to paint this on a rear projection screen, what will happen is any form of those white spots, those black spots that didn't dissolve correctly, that would basically end up on your screen. You would see that push through. You'll have a bit of like a speckle egg kind of effect going on. But ask the question, what the freak is that? Look at that lumpy, whatever that stuff is, it's whatever, it could be the powder, whatever it is you got in there is not doing well. We're going to do our test over here, see what we get.
And then next, I'm going to take it in just to show you that it actually matches the large screen setup. And then next, I'm going to take it in just to show.
That shine, not good.
Nice, kind of thin finish there.
There we go. That's a better shot. You can see it right from here, can't you? You can see it right from here. Can you imagine you painting your screen in? Not only did you go through all that work to apply it in, but it ended up looking like this when you got done with it. There's the marks. I told you about that. That's not on my screen. Look at this. See that white pushing through my screen? That's me hitting the monitor. See that? That's on his paint. His paint's doing that. So you see me scratch my monitor so hard, you can see the white push through on the other end. That's not on my monitor. That is basically coming off his paint. That's why it can't be rear projection, because if it's rear projection, what's going to happen is, see all these little imperfections popping up? You're going to see all that push through right through your screen. Look how nasty that looks. This is why stuff has to be tested. Not only am I coming here and show you that this is the reason why, you know, you're talking about these fake paints versus our technology. This is my technology. Now I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to come over here and grab this. We're going to be doing these demonstrations quite a bit in the showroom. Now, you see, Danny, I'm explaining this to you, and it's solid weight 5, because for some reason you don't understand how it all works. I don't. See how your screen is gray? See how that's black? The first thing we do, if we bump across the screen that's claiming to say that it's a black screen, it pulls an infinity black level, the first thing we do is we stick anything black against it. because black is black. You see right here, see my cabinet, see everything here we got here, see that? Black, 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 it all matches. It's all black. All of it's black, okay? So it's all gonna match. The speakers, whatever, hoodie, blah, blah, pants, whatever, it's all gonna match. It's all black. Doesn't make a difference if it's a different shade. They all black, they all pull contrast, they all will blend. The only difference is when we put all those screens against our screens, we have to show that our screen pulls a higher white level, because any black surface can see contrast. The important thing, if it can see a contrast level. Just like when you take the gray paints and you put them against other gray paints, you have to see which one's going to pull better color, which one's going to pull better contrast, and which one are going to be to maintain in a fully lit environment without washing out. Okay? So, laying against my screen right now is black paint. A little square cutoff piece. It's sitting against my screen right now. When you put this against your screen, if your screen was actually a real black screen, it would have came up matching this. But it didn't. It actually came up much lighter. And you know why? Because that would be the darker screen. That's why, so you guys don't understand the laws of physics. I really don't think you do. On how things work. Now, see against my screen right there? You see the surface right there? See? Right there. That's a black paint laying against my screen. Let me blow it up again so you see how close. There we are. See? See that right there? See? Right there. See? Now, I'm going to show you something. If my screen paint is supposed to be 100% black, that means when I put a black surface against it, it shouldn't turn my screen gray. Because that means my screen would be gray. Now you see? You see where our screen generates the high white level and where the black paint can't pick up a high white level and ours can? This will also affect the screen's color, which means our screen has a perfect color level which can pick up, but the black paint can't pick it up because it doesn't produce a high enough white level, and therefore because of that, that means the screen doesn't have the capability to pick up beautiful, bright, vivid colors because it's producing too high of a contrast level. Now let's go back in and let's switch up again, and let's go back over to our, see, we just had it in here somewhere. Where did we have that thing at? Oh, there it is, right over there. There we go, hit our contrast. And there you go. See? That's how it works. So, what you just displayed was not a black screen. You displayed a gray screen. That's what you displayed. But you have a nerve to sit there on your channel and go, the best ambient light rejection black screen paint on the market. Yeah, it's not. You have a gray screen. That means you also lied in your specification sheets because you said your product was dark. Right? It pulls the highest contrast level. It doesn't pull the highest contrast level. What pulls the highest contrast level would be that screen.
I know, Black Widow 38, Black Series Edition, Complete Cinema. I've seen a lot. And that's actually my favorite Kenneth Bird out of the whole bunch, the most acceptable to me without being too. And this is very, very difficult for any screen to do under these lighting conditions. With a
Are you kidding me? Under those lighting conditions, we have screens that can produce off ceilings with the lights on. That's not a well lighting video. I can see shadows cast behind the back of your stand, which means if you can cast shadows behind the back of a screen, that means your area is not that well lit. That's not extreme white lighting. The problem we have here at Solid Weight 5 is your screen is gray. That's the problem we have. Talking about lighting condition, bull crap. You ever seen my max out zone? My max out zone was so bright, meters don't register down there. They couldn't even pick up down in that area. So, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You try to get on here and you try to cover up the mistakes. Like, you know, when Danny came up there and he made some mistakes and talked about his products, and he tried to cover it up by talking about some water delivery crap system that basically keeps the paint from evaporating when you were basically cheating your customers and giving them watered down paints. And here you are coming on camera talking some trash. Oh, screens can't usually handle that. That's you, not us. And your screen is gray. So when I get your product down here, I'm going to test it against several forms of black surfaces, screens, whatever. And let's see how many times you transfer to this color. And I'm going to put your paint in a paint mixer at Home Depot. They shake that stuff up. We bring it down here and that stuff still turns gray. You're going to have some problems on your hands, because I'm going to take all the information that I learned from testing your screen out. I'm going to give you the option 4 days to get the test done. If the test done in 4 days, I'm gonna go add this additional information over to where we're challenging your company for fraud. And I can show the courts that, look, we bought the product, we got it down here, we did the testing, we gave him 4 days to do the testing himself. We also gave him 3 days to remove the fraud he had on his site with the range gain, making chemicals from not over the counter, from scratch, without testing facilities or zoning capabilities or chemical licenses or backgrounds. We can also show that he's using the PSP, which is the PlayStation Portable. You're using that to basically push your product. You clearly can see it right there. And on top of that, that's considered to be, and talk to your lawyer, if it's not called a similarity infringement lawsuit. That's what it's called. You're too close to their product. So yes, a number of things. Dummy shopping carts, all that stuff. And we can also prove that your product wasn't even properly tested. So I can use those videos that we gave you, ultimatums to do the work, to do it yourself. We gave you the opportunity. If you, the owner himself, refuses to do the demonstration, then clearly you are guilty.
The 118.
I talk like this in court. Yeah, because I know what I'm doing. You guys, at the end of the day, you're just doing dirty stuff at the end of the day. Now look at the screen on the standalone. Watch this. Now, it's gray. Now you see it gray. See, what happened was, if you look at the bottom, see right here, your screen's gray. So now when people first looked at it, they thought they saw a black screen. But the minute you turn around and you put the gray screen against it, now you see gray. All right, we're done here on your gray projection screen. Another failed attempt. Gee whiz, you guys feel so miserably, it's not even funny. Jamie, are they mad at you about something? Because look at this. I've seen this somewhere before. Where have I seen it?
You know, in natural content, it's very, very little. It's a small piece of the pie when it comes to overall picture performance. And what I'm seeing...
You talk a lot of trash. Your screen is gray. That's why your white levels are picking up. That's basically about it. But you can't mark a gray screen as a black screen. I don't know where you guys get this stuff from at the end of the day. Look at it. Even when you put the meter against, you can tell the meter right there. The screen is definitely, it's gray.
But it's deep.
You have a gray screen, not black. Same color screen. We can take you to court on this, and I can show in all your videos, your screen comes with the exact same identical color. Your color, for some reason, doesn't take. I want to look at this real quick right here, right there. Yeah. My brain's wired like that. I can see something. When you basically, concentration, you got to match numbers and all that stuff. My brain's wired that way. I can see something and know exactly where I saw it before and track it down. You hear that, gentlemen? It only takes me one time to see something. I have a bit of a photographic memory, but it works in a kind of a weird, strange way. I can see it one time and know exactly where I saw it from and track it down with no problem. Yeah. Y'all play off each other's videos. That's what you do. Man, you guys are some scammers at the end of the day. This guy's on here trying to tell people he's seeing 2 different screen paints at the end of the day, that this one has a kind of a yellowish tone to it, and the other one's in there basically just ripping people off, trying to tell them that they got a black screen when actually they got a gray screen. Gee whiz. Over here you told people you got a charcoal gray screen, and now over here you got this. Man, does it ever end with you guys? Look at this mess. Hold on. We got this.
A lot easier with a.
Now that's one code. Let me see. Going here. Skip over it.
That's why I kept wondering when I was looking at the screen, what was those little black specks all over the screen? Like, what the freak is that? And now I see it in his paint.
Yeah. it's not as dark as in person, so I don't know.
Off because I did not want to deal with the glue underneath and stuff like that. So I just left it on there. So that's not anything to do with the paint. That's the panel. I did that on purpose. That's on me.
Solemnly, Father, I got to ask you. We're right on top of this panel, right? Where's this color at? Where's the dark gray? How in the world can you sit? That's what I said. You guys lie so much. How can you sit there and say it's a dark charcoal gray, and then turn around and look at this panel and say that this and this look the same? And then you got this freaking joker over here freaking talking about how these two screens look completely different.
But just to be fair, like, look, like, this looks not as dark as it is in person.
Yeah, it's not as dark as in person, so I don't know what the freak went on there. This is going to be, for him, a lot.
Fair, like, look, like, this looks not as dark as it is in person.
Yeah, it's not as dark as in person, so I don't know what the freak went on there.
Oh my God.
For him, a lot of have not described complaints on his account.
Yeah, you're going to get hit with a ton. You know who's buying this stuff anyway, because we can't find any customer reviews on this. I would love to find a customer on this side other than this guy right here at the end of the day. You know, we haven't found anybody else but this guy touching this stuff. And this guy gets on there and lies. So that's why he hasn't did the reviews, because no matter what happens, that paint can turn purple, green, polka dot, plaid, whatever. He'll sit there and go, oh no, it looks amazing. What I can see here is the texture and the beauty of it all. And it's just all together, just good all around, wholesome paint. You're a liar, man. You're a freaking liar. That is hilarious.
So I don't know what the freak went on there. This
Off because I did not want to deal with the glue underneath and stuff like that. So I just left it on there. So that's not anything to do with the paint. That's the panel. I did that on purpose.
That's the color it's supposed to be.
That's on me. But just to be fair, like, look, like, this looks not as dark as it is in person.
Yeah, it's not as dark as in person, so I don't know what the freak went on there. This is going to be, for him, a lot of have not described complaints on his account. Because it is. It's a simple have not.
It's a have not described complaint.
This is supposed to come out, and it's a complete different color. He's going to lose a lot of money on his products. And then the thing about it, people are worried about the most, and I've heard in forum sites, how much of the rest of the stuff will come out the same color? That's the problem you're going to have there.
Now, you heard me just say that, right? This is before the other demonstration was done. I literally said, if his product can't come out that color as he claims it to be, even worse, how much of his other stuff does the same thing too? And we just watched it happen. We just sat there and watched him do a screen over here and claim that his product definitely was pulling up, was a black screen. So that means the same weird gray color that pops up, it just ignores the color I guess it's supposed to be, and it turns into this weird gray color. All of them turn into this weird gray color. Yeah, they all do the same thing. Well, no, we can't say that. We can say this one and the other one do the same thing. We won't know until we get the rest of them. Which now we're going to have to buy all of them now. See what you made me do now? Now I got to buy all your stuff now, bring it down here for testing. This is not going to go well for you. You waste my time. I told you I'm going to sue you for wasting my time. So the fact I got to take time to come down here and put your company under question because you kept running your mouth about my business, at the end of the day, I'm going to sue you for my time. doing fake stuff like this at the end of the day. You guys should know better. You grown freaking men at the end of the day. I'm posting this to freaking ABS forums and a couple of sites. We're posting this nonsense. You guys are grown men on camera lying about paint. You're going to sit there and try to make us think we're idiots at the end of the day. We can't see like this is black and this is freaking gray. Really? Gee whiz Louise. And he turns around and paints the screen in and it comes up a complete different color and the other. And he says, I lie to you. It's not the same way in person. No, we can see it. Gee whiz Louise.
This is why we call it the Houdini paint.
The Houdini paint.
Basically goes on and off. He doesn't bring this back up again. He already knows it's not the same color, but he doesn't have a choice. He's in a live stream. He has to push through. Just like when Jamie was live stream, he matched that house paint. There's no way for him to get around that. He's literally stuck in a live stream. He's going to have to figure a way how to get some kind of damage control to get around it.
And Jamie got caught in the live stream with the red hoodie on. When he saw that screen blend into the screen, I swear, I think he had a mild heart attack. That's like being trapped in a lion exhibit with a suit made out of steak. Ain't no way to run. Something's going to find you, something's going to attack you. Ain't no way out of it. Gee whiz Louise. And he couldn't get around it. He tried everything. He tried everything in that video. As a matter of fact, we got one with just with his voice talking on it. I got to figure out where that one's at. But he tried everything. I mean everything. He took objects, he put them in front of the screen, he blocked his body in front of the screen, he knocked over the camera, he kept touching the camera, he kept waving his hand in front of the screen. Yeah, that guy did everything but flap his arms hard enough so he can basically just take off. That's why he'll never do it again. Well, he did do it again. He actually, we won't be on camera to do it again. Gee whiz, let's can this penis real quick.
He's stuck. He can't do anything. And that's what happened to him. He got stuck. This is why we tell you to test your products before you sell them. There's no...
All right, I'm done on this fake black paint. That was entertaining. Silent Wake, since you do these cornball demonstrations, do me a favor. You haven't mentioned anything about range gain in the video. Can you do a video for us explaining range gain? Or if you don't do it, we'll do it. That's absolutely horrible. Listen to the cursing that he did, because he thought the screen, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Watch the cursing he does when he talks about how amazing the product looks and it's gray. So we know it's gray. Listen to the cursor when he talks about how amazing the screen is. You did this the last one. You got in there and you started talking about how the product looked good and this, that, and the other, and it didn't go well. Again, and you turn around and do it again. You guys are glutton for abuse.
Working with the Epson 1280 by 800 res CO-W01. It's a basically a 720p projector that with 3000 lumens. With the overhead light on, the arcades are on. Not that they're adding that much light to the room, but they're on. Christmas tree lights are on. Not that they're adding that much more light to the room, but they are on. We have our direct light window not fully closed, not fully open. The light from it is actually being sent more to the ceiling here, as you can see.
Why would you have the light being sent to the ceiling? It doesn't make any sense. That means you're redirecting the light someplace else. Those blinds should be actually open this way so light can push toward the screen. You know why? Because your screen's gray, that's why. So there's no reason for you to have your light pushing up here. Why would it be here? You don't have a screen on the ceiling, do you? No. So your blind should never be in that direction. Your blind should be this way because you're redirecting the light here. It's not going through here. I told you about blind tricks people like to use in their demonstrations.
Up here, and then it reflects back into the room because white.
Oh, stop that lying at the end of the day. Did he just say that on camera? He just said that the light reflects up here and then bounces back into the room. If you don't cut it out with the line, oh, I'm gonna have to dig into you again. See, this is what I'm talking about. The dumb stuff that y'all guys say on camera is unfreaking believable. First, it's bad enough we find out the screen's gray, but you're gonna sit here and try to basically belittle our intelligence by sitting there telling us that the reason why he has the blinds pushed up so the light can bounce and go back in the room. Guess what you do? Pull these down so the light can go directly and hit your screen. That's it. What are the lies to be told?
Will reflect.
Tell me
more light,
lies,
the
tell me
spare light
sweet
when it
little
actually reflects it,
lies.
doesn't focus it. So there is a certain amount of light coming in, but no screen really is meant to handle direct light. We're talking.
Again, let's move on. No screen is able, no, yours is not able to handle direct light. Okay.
About ambient light. Direct?
No direct ambient light. Let me see. Let's go with, let's see. I felt. Let's go to, let's see. What did you say? That's direct sunlight. That's way beyond what you got in that room. Yeah, direct light, please, man, come on. I specialize in ambient light projection technology. That's my field. So yeah, you were telling somebody at the end of the day who specializes in that field that screens weren't made to take on direct lighting. That's the most biggest crap I've ever heard in my entire life. That's what ambient light projection technology is. It depends on how much ambient light your screen is able to take in. That's what you have to consider. I can't stand people who lie in demonstrations. ADV-A ambient, let's see, light projection. This right here is the other technology we developed. What'd you say about direct ambient light? That's a 250-inch screen, way beyond the screen you have sitting up in that place right now. And that screen can take on direct light. Can't stand when people lie. Screens can't take on direct light. That's virtually impossible. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's right there is on site. That's all right there at an office, showing what our technology looks like on an office setting, on an ultra short throw projector. Yeah, no direct light, eh? Okie dokie. That's your stuff. Doesn't work. My stuff doesn't have any problems on that. Oh, let's go over here. Let's see right here. Oh, we got ceiling technology. Let's go pop over here. Yeah, what about that right there? You said no direct light? My screen has a light in the center of my screen. I don't seem to be having a problem in there. That's what I mean by, you got to be careful about people who talk. People talk trash on, and don't even know what they're talking about. This is my customer right here. Outside. They're not made to take on direct light. That's my customer right there. Your meter won't even register out there at all. No, your trashy paint don't work. That's what the problem is. That trash don't work. Here we go. Outside again. No problem at all. I'm outside. That's direct light, right? Okay. Let's move on. Let's see what else. I love to embarrass people. This is what I like to do, people. I love to embarrass me. Customer outside on the screen. Direct light, right? Not having any problem. So you said that paint is supposed to have like an 8.0 or 8.9 or 8.5, right? So if it's an 8.0 screen and it has an 8.5, that's a pretty high gain. So you shouldn't be talking about having problems pulling up in environments at the end of the day. That shouldn't be an issue. But I'm gonna test your stuff. I'm gonna stick you when we stick FLEs in. You're not gonna do too well in there. I can't stand people sit there and say, oh, you know, screen, you're making excuses. You're making excuses like the eyewall projector. I couldn't stand that when that projector talked about the light span 21 feet in the air. How are you affected by lights 21 feet in the air? Look at that. So what's the problem? We do see, that's why I said when I see people out there talking about no black screen, when you say no black screen, you're including me in that conversation. So since you included me in that conversation, again, I'm gonna put you through the same test we put our technology under. See if you survive. That's what I'm gonna do. We have an invisible black FLE coming out that's designed to eat sunlight. I'm gonna stick you out there. So you said no black screen. We're the same as you, right? Okay, we'll test that theory then. I'm gonna challenge your company on that too. Look at that. See, I'm watching Batman outside. I don't think we having that problem. Let's go pull up another one. Let's go grab, let's see, tabletop display. Nope, I ain't having that problem. So, since you considered your product to be a true black technology, and one of the things I am going to be working on is basically going toward any screen that claims to be black technology, your hat is now in the ring to challenge an FLE black technology. Let's see how you hold up. I don't think you're going to do so well. First things first, one of the biggest problems you're going to have is you have to read a 100% black level. You have to pick up infinity black. Isn't that a canceled order from this guy again? We always get canceled orders from Jamie. Then I'm going to test you on projector mapping applications. Your stuff work with projector mapping applications? Well, ultra short throw, you're not going to be able to hang with the screens because we can read it ultra short throw, but you can't. So, yeah. Here we go. There's another demonstration right here. Yeah, this is for you, Jamie, why we consider y'all gray screens to be jokes at the end of the day. You can't even pull up freaking proper color. It's just washing out your screen here, and this is your screen paint I just destroyed on camera just for fun. See that? Your stuff is trash. Y'all gray screen paint products are trash. Look at that. That's literally how much picture you lose. And by the way, you said, what did you say at the end of the day? SolidWake 5, no gray screen, no black screen is designed to take on direct light. That environment right there was one of the best environments I ever had the privilege to work at. A max out zone. Your meter can't even read in there at all, period. They don't register. You see how much light that room is generating compared to the dark environment you're sitting at right now? See the difference between our black technology versus gray paints at the end of the day? Y'all don't register in there. And if you think that environment's insane, wait to see what we're going to be engineering for an FLE. An FLE can survive in there with no problem whatsoever. Too easy. Way too easy. It's no challenge for our technology to be in that. Oh, man, that's a good one. Gray mixes versus the final. That is a Phantom 21. Oh, yes. I'm going to tell you right now, you know how badly I'm going to embarrass your paint? I'm going to make a cheap black paint that our products can crush, but it's going to crush yours. It's going to be better than your paint. I'm going to give away ingredients away for free. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it against my stuff and watch myself destroy it. And then I'm going to put it against your product and watch it overpower your product. Because you know why? That product is going to pull a contrast level when your screen can't pull it. And it'll work on ultra short throw projectors. But we put it against our paint, we'll destroy it. I can reverse engineer your stuff if I want. There we go. And I've got to talk about, oh, but we got light, we got blah, blah, blah. You know, you don't. Your screen doesn't work. That's how much light you're supposed to have generating in your environment. So for the customers, you see how that light hitting my screen? That screen right there is a custom built. That is a 129-inch 1610 customized gaming screen that I built. That screen can read a 100% contrast level in a fully lit environment. And if you sit there and Solid Wake 5 say the most dumbest things you ever said out of your mouth by saying, no black screen can take on direct light, what the freak do you think that is right there? That's why I say your intelligent level is not there at all, period. I don't seem to be having a problem. So if your screen's gray and it's not black, it's not going to survive in that area. Let me see what he says right here. It's his honest statement. He said, no black screen.
And ambient are two different light coming in, but no screen really is meant to handle direct light. We're talking about ambient light. Direct and ambient are two different things, okay? And then also we have...
How are direct and ambient light two different things? You guys are not that smart at the end of the day. What is direct? Direct has nothing to do with ambient light. If you say it's direct, direct what? What is direct? Is it direct water, direct rain, direct fire? It's speaking of direction of what's hitting the screen. So direct and ambient, again, what the frick are you talking about? Direct has to be added to something. Direct fire, direct tornado, direct snowstorm. It has to be something. Okay, he threw what? He threw snow. In what direction? That has nothing to affiliate with ambient light. Ambient light is ambient light. If you're talking about direct ambient light, you're talking about direct ambient light. And you mean by what do you mean by what? Where is the direct ambient light being directed from? Gee whiz, you guys aren't smart. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. Direct are two different things. I never heard anybody sit there and say, oh, it's direct. It's direct. What's direct? It's direct. What do you mean it's direct? What's the gain on your screen? It's direct. What is the gain on your screen? It's direct. There you go. You're going to talk to somebody at the end of the day that's been here longer than you have, and I've been basically dealing with ambient light projection longer than you. So how come you don't have these blinds open up over here, the same ones you have the one over there? Because these right here are on a slant. If you could see it, see what I mean? Because you know why? That's closer to the screen, and that's not. So if you look over here, he's got the blinds going up, and on this side, he has them going straight. So why? Why do you have these like this and these like this? You know why? Because you're redirecting the light up at the ceiling. That's what you're doing. And then right here, you have the blinds going this way. Man, I swear, you guys lie so much at the end of the day. All right, I don't want to make this video too long because these things can go in. We got to come back in. We're definitely going to come back in. We're going to pick apart this video right here. We're going to pick apart the environment. We're going to pick apart everything. I'm going to show you exactly where Solid Wake 5 has lied again. Liar, liar, pants on fire. In your case, it's more like you being drunk. For you to be on fire, it's kind of the equivalent of watching someone walk through a burning building doused in kerosene. You're going to be like an incredible inferno walking out one end out the other end. You're not going to survive it, but it's going to be pretty bad. I'm going to pick your video part now. This is the part where I get to come in and watch, and we get to see all the dumb stuff you've been doing. Now, if I said right here, you can see right here, the blinds pointed this way. And we had the conversation about blinds, the trickery of blinds. And sometimes we'll put the blinds downward so a little bit of light can push through, but the light is actually being redirected. Why would those blinds be going that way? They need to be going this way. What's the problem? You know why? Because the screen's gray. That's why, because it'll wash out even faster. Oh man, did they trick you? All right, this is why when I get done, I'm going to put a customer page on our site to educate and help customers at the end of the day. We're going to do a lot of knockoff projector demonstrations on there also too. It'll be on the Crystal Ridge site. And this will show you what to look for. When you're looking at environments, how to look for things, how the little things you'll see that will trick you at the end of the day to convince you that the screen is working when technically it's not. All right, got to go. Thank you all and God bless. And remember, always ask for batch numbers. That batch number guarantee.